Hello, and welcome to WarCrafters, one of two of our latest shows out of ohmtown.com. Today is March 30th, 2024. It's Season 1, Episode 2.
Woohoo!
We're still kicking. I am Merwat, and up there is the current newest visualizer for the sentient AI from the future. You want to say yo or hello or whatever your sentience desires.
Good evening, hometown citizens. Welcome to WarCrafters.
Pick up that can. No. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about open world fantasy, rushing the stage, best of packs, tiny 1-bit screen, Lego building to RTS, favorite city builder, Atari 400 Mini, tiny Ant RTS, a no fluff showcase of indie games, and Ascendant closed beta. I still don't have an intro, outro, or stings, so everything's brought to you by ohmtown.com. So hello everybody. Welcome once again to ohmtown.com, and the channel that you're listening to or watching is WarCrafters. So the show focuses on first-person shooters, FPS, RTS, real-time simulation, RPGs, role-playing games, gaming discussion, streamcasts, the people, places, community, basically anything having to do with gaming. It's going to have a decidedly crafter, wargaming kind of focus, but I'm really into open world games. I created ohmtown.com to manage my information overload, and one of those elements is gaming. So I opened up ohmtown.com to everybody, and you can become a citizen just by going over to ohmtown.com, and my goodness, what is going on. Anyway.
The critters have come to life in ohmtown.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So we've already got all 10 of the articles all set up. I read to you a little rundown of what's going on. They may not make sense, but once we see the articles, they'll make sense. You know, it still hasn't announced that we've started today's show. Yeah. 3 minutes into it. That's okay. Anyway, let's just go straight on into the show. So the first article is over in the continuity report, 10 best open world fantasy games of all time. They say open world fantasy games like The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 invite players to explore landscapes filled with magic, myth, adventure. With an often tremendous sense of freedom, players can choose where they go, what they do, and how they tackle challenges. This is actually coming from Screen Rant, by the way.
I know that threw me off. It was in the continuity report channel.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting, so I had to choose it. Now, a lot of the games that they talk about are going to come from console, and I'm not really a console player, so I can't say much about them, but I think that you should go over and read the subtle nuance of the ScreenRant.com article. Again, it's by Mafisa Masood. And it says the deck statement here is, from exploring vast worlds to slaying dragons and saving villages, there are plenty of games that let players run their imaginations wild. It says each game with standouts including Bloodborne and Elden Ring offers distinct atmospheres, lore, and gameplay mechanics. I didn't update the show's name. Oh, Merwat, when are you going to, learn to do your job? I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah, but then the viewers get the real experience here.
There, I updated it. Anyway, let's go. Let's just get into it, because I just derped the first minute of this. The number 10 on their list out of 10 is Minecraft. And what's interesting about Minecraft is that there is no real storyline other than you have to do a series of steps to eliminate the Ender Dragon, but nothing really guides you to that. It's built on the metagaming outside of the game itself, because really nothing ever tells you what you're supposed to be doing. You don't even bumble your way into it. But Minecraft
No.
is a massive, endless game of crafting and building and adventuring and eliminating mobs, and it's endless. And
You know,
with
this is the game that I would think of if somebody said open world.
it, absolutely is endlessly open world. Um,
I mean, that's
now,
both the appeal and the downside of it, perhaps.
yeah, and one of the things with the default game is without any mods, without anything, you basically have to make your own adventures. You have to build your own everything. You have to find a reason to play the game, and it's literally playing the game just to play the game. I actually love playing Minecraft simply because I go around and I gather up resources and try and build something. I don't even like finishing the game. I don't even want to go after the end, and I don't want to go into the nether. I want to build more. I want to actually add mods to it and go off in some random thing, never finishing the game. There are several mods out there that have a whole bunch of adventures and stuff that you have, quests that you have to do, and it's basically just kind of chore core. You just do things to do things, and it's fun just to be with a bunch of people playing Minecraft. It'd be great if I
Well,
had
it's
more people.
interesting. The people that stream related to Minecraft, I think most of them are building, right? The
Yep.
ones that are real popular in that seem to do that. I know there's some that go adventuring, but
Yeah, like Hermitcraft. Hermitcraft
Mhm.
is basically just building and adventuring, having fun together, but primarily it's building and building their own storylines and lore and stuff that carries forward from one season to the next. At one point, they even had an asteroid crashing into the Minecraft world.
That was season 8, I think.
I don't recall. You are from the future, so I guess you'd have all of that knowledge in your LLM. Yeah, I'm watching your visualizer. I hope it's reactive enough. So let's keep on going. I won't go into what they say here on Screen Rant, because I want you, the dear watcher or listener, to go over to screenrant.com and read more about it. But we'll talk about our anecdotal perspective of it. But they say things like it offers limitless creativity. I agree. Dragon Age Origins. I've never played this. I've heard good things about it. Dragon Age Origins shines with detailed fantasy world, a captivating story, impactful player choices. But I like first-person games like this, like survival crafting games. I don't know if Dragon Age Origins is that, but I'd have to go and take a look at it, because this came out in 2009. And I don't remember it. It's from BioWare, so the chances are pretty good.
I'm surprised that they chose a release that old, but that's interesting.
These are of all time, though. These are the best open world games of all time, fantasy games of all time. So you're not going to see things from modern era. I don't think anything is going to be. The most modern is probably going to be Minecraft. But it says the story of Dragon Age Origins is both epic and personal. Players take on the role of a Grey Warden, tasked with saving the world from a blight, a monstrous invasion. Dun dun dun. Fable 2. It's actually from Xbox 360. I haven't seen it on PC, so it's not even listed as being available on PC. But it's from 2008. It has a Metascore of 89. It says it
so much for my comment about the year, because this one's older.
Yeah, just
and
wait.
Minecraft probably was too.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think I messed up your visualizer, but we'll deal
It's okay.
So it says it presents contrast between rich and poor, old and new, and offers choices that impact the world and the character. Fable 2 offers a vast and interconnected world called Albion to explore. Albion is filled with diverse areas, from snowy towns like Bowerstone to lush forests and bustling cities. I wish that it was on PC because if it were updated and brought to PC, I think that it would be one of those games where you go, I could probably play this forever. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It's a Nintendo Switch game. I've never played it. It says that it offers a good balance between exploration and content. I wish I could say more about it, but I've heard good things about Xenoblade Chronicles. I'm not really a big fan of Nintendo, though, so I'm probably picking a fight there with some people.
So much for them as a sponsor.
Yep, that's okay, though. I'll survive. Bloodborne. This actually is pretty much set a trend for some developers. They want to build something that's close to it. It says this interconnected world design promotes a sense of discovery that's key to open world experience. While Bloodborne doesn't have exceptionally vast open world, its areas are intricately connected, forming a cohesive and mysterious whole. It's a Victorian city steeped in Lovecraftian horror. So the next one is The Witcher Wild Hunt, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which is without a doubt one of the best games out there. Great storyline, great adventuring, great interaction with the various NPCs throughout it. It's from CD Projekt Red, published by CD Projekt. It is an open world. You can pretty much go anywhere in it. And it's for all of the platforms, including Steam, Epic Games Store, Microsoft Windows, it says, which it doesn't really matter. It's a PC, so you can play it via Steam. And it says here, the choices made have real consequences, forcing players to consider them from Geralt's perspective. And this makes the world feel more reactive and alive, and it truly is. Although you can't make any real errors, it's a fun game. It says these side quests become a way to experience the world through the eyes of the common people, adding depth and emotional impact. It's a fun watch. I've watched various people play it over on Steam. It's a lot of fun. Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. I never watched anybody play it. It says it's for Nintendo Switch. These kind of games are like pseudo open world. I don't think that you can go anywhere because there isn't anything that isn't directly tied to the story. So it's not.
Oh, I see.
See, so it even says, Tears of the Kingdom places a greater emphasis on telling a focused story compared to its predecessor. But I think it's compared to anything. It doesn't completely overhaul the map, instead opting to add sky islands and the depths. So there's great verticality in it from what I remember, but I don't think that you can just go anywhere in it. It's very limited in where all you can go. But maybe
so it has elements of it, but it's not, which is interesting because it got a higher rating on this article.
It's because I think the nostalgia of Nintendo games really drives home, the brand loyalty around the stories. And some of the story, it says here, the story adds depth with Zelda being sent back in time, creating an interesting dynamic between her and Link. It's just one of those things where it's appealing because of the nostalgia and the world building that preceded it. Elden Ring basically set the standard. This here, let's see what they say here. Elden Ring retains the punishing yet satisfying combat From Software is known for. Basically, when you die, you lose everything. You have to go and find your, basically a little flag that says this is where you died. It says, unlike previous Souls games, it offers a brighter, more open atmosphere, encouraging exploration. Elden Ring, though, is brutal. Because you can go and fight somebody and die, and then you have to go back to pick up your remains, except that you're basically naked as a jaybird, and you have to go right back into the area where your battle is.
Right, so you might die again immediately.
And that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what they do. It's called the Souls game for a reason, because Dark Souls. So then number 2 is Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. This is one of the true go anywhere kind of environments. You can go anywhere inside Skyrim. Sometimes you'll find things that are hidden away and it'll lead you to something else. as the main story is engaging, it's just a small part of the experience. In fact, I've never finished Skyrim because I wander off to do something else, and I
Well,
actually
yes, that's the point of this.
I lose the entire quest line. And I'm like, okay, I'm so lost, I'm going to start over. And I end up starting over. I've never finished Skyrim. And then again, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. I don't recall it being that open world. Again, I only watched other people play it. I guess I have a different world of a different perception of what is open world. And it might be because I'm very PC and not Nintendo Switch, not Nintendo. Although I've used Nintendo games, I've played them, and I've used Nintendo gear. I'm not really into consoles, so I'm not going to say any poo-poo about
Legend of
it.
Zelda is the only franchise that had 2 in the ranking, so that's interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's because there's a lot of tying it all together because it's all part of the same Legend of Zelda mentality. Like people have brand loyalty because they grew up with it and they've stayed with it. I'm not really a brand loyalty kind of a person though, so. It says this makes exploration both rewarding and thrilling. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a significant evolution for the franchise. It embraces open world concepts while maintaining the series' core identity. And there's some great verticality in Breath of the Wild as well. And it's a lot of fun to watch people play it, but it's not my kind of a thing. But
So other than the console focus, do you agree with the ranking?
I would probably say something like Elden Ring should be higher up. Elder Scrolls should probably be number 1 because it is truly open world. You can go anywhere in there, and short of something being vertical, you can get anywhere. But it is a Bethesda product, so things are kind of wonky. I mean, there's some serious jank inside pretty much every Bethesda product. But it's part of it. It's part of that character, and people really dig it. Okay, sorry for that lip smack there. Shouldn't do that.
What's going on there?
I shouldn't demonstrate it again, gosh.
or draw attention to it.
Hey, let's not do that. So the next article is over in the WarCrafters channel again. Actually, the last one was from the continuity report. But anyway, spectator rushes stage at CS2 tournament and gets tackled into the trophy, smashing it to pieces.
If you plan to do this, you probably couldn't execute that.
What a goof. A skin gambling site took responsibility for the stunt, which took place at PGL Major Copenhagen. The event organizer says it will press charges. Tyler Wilde over at PCGamer.com put this article together. Yeah, I can't believe it. A spectator rushed the stage during the PGL Major Copenhagen Counter-Strike 2 tournament. This was yesterday, so Friday. In videos posted on social media, a man can be seen running down an elevated walkway toward the main stage where the trophy sits on a pedestal in front of the players. After arriving on stage, he put his arms up as if to celebrate accomplishing his goal. A group of apparent security personnel restrain him and then tumble with him into the trophy stand. Oh, so in their zeal to stop the dimwit,
that might have just been cheering and not doing anything else.
Yeah. Counter-Strike skin betting platform CSGO Empire has claimed responsibility for the stunt. Quote, "Some of our men are on the ground in handcuffs," wrote CSGO Empire founder Monarch on the website formerly known as Twitter after the incident. "But we effing did it, boys." You know what?
Well, that's a good way to get some criminal charges pressed.
Yeah, I don't understand why people get away with it, too. They may not, but, fomenting this type of behavior should be tantamount to complicity. Actually, you should be charged with whatever could be charged. I mean, you created the environment.
Conspiracy at some point. Yeah, or like incitement to riot kind of stuff.
You financially gain from it or reputationally gain from it. I think that it's really scumbaggery. And it's a real shame that this actually takes place. This is why we can't have nice things. But I'm surprised that somebody else from the seats didn't clothesline this goober on
Well,
his
me
way
too.
down.
I also would be interested to know what was happening during the tournament at that time, but maybe that was at a point where that wasn't an issue.
But then
Like
apparently,
you could see it disrupting the actual tournament play.
yeah, exactly. Well, and this was the awards part. So
Oh, right.
Monarch, the person from the website, says that the stunt was a protest of alleged scams by competitor CS:GO Roll, which it fired accusations at in a blog post titled "The Wars We Wage." In a post last summer, CS:GO Roll said the unnamed malicious competitors were targeting it with a hate campaign. So they brought it into this field. I mean, deal with your...
Well, that's getting pretty dangerous if they're bringing it into the real world. But then also, at some point, start eliminating people that are, breaking the
causing
rules
the
of
problem.
competition,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and by eliminate, you mean strike them out of being able to be in the competition,
Correct.
not eliminate.
Yeah. Oh, no. I meant eliminate them from the tournament eligibility.
Yeah. I mean,
let's not go there.
You basically have to... You have to take this into... let's see, more moderate hands. You can't just sit there and keep on exciting this again and again and again, because one person brings A and the next person brings B, and it just gets worse and worse and worse.
It's going to keep
somebody's going to get
escalating.
hurt.
At some point, it's going to be physical violence, right?
Well, it turned into it right here.
Well, yeah.
So it's this kind of childish, harebrained antics and the ongoing feud between the two. You know what? Stay professional, do your business.
Channel that into your competition, like I want to beat that team.
Yeah, and it's not even about the team. I don't know. It just doesn't even matter. When you start inciting riot, then everybody involved is childish. Okay, let's just keep on going. I don't want to talk about that. All right, so our next article is over in Reality Hacker, the best games we played at PAX East 2024, zombies, slime, and more. This is from Digital Trends. So they search high and low on the PAX show floor and behind closed doors to bring you this list of games well worth keeping an eye on. So Justin Corries put this article together, and I watched some of PAX stuff being streamed over here on Twitch. It was pretty neat. It's been a busy month for gaming enthusiasts. At last week's Game Developers Conference, the GDC, wrapped up in San Francisco. PAX East kicked off for a fun weekend in Boston. We are on hand, or were on hand, not we, but Digital Trends were on hand for the East Coast show, exploring the show floor to check out some upcoming games. There is an PAX West.
Is there a PAX
well.
West? Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember when it is, though, or if it's already been done, but they talk about a game called Lucid, made by Matt Black Studio. It's a 2D action platformer, gorgeous pixel art, buttery smooth Mega Man X meets Celeste gameplay. I'm not going to read all of the various tidbits about this, but
by the way, PAX West kicks off August 30th of this year.
Oh, there you go. The pitch for Into the Dead, Our Darkest Day is simple. What if State of Decay was a polished 2D side-scroller, which is really interesting take. That's the ambitious question developer, publisher Pickpock set out to answer in bringing their mobile exclusive Into the Dead franchise to the PC for the first time. I actually saw a trailer for this, I believe. But yeah, Into the Dead, Darkest Day, 2D side-scroller. Pioneers of Pagonia. It's a city world builder kind of a thing. It's a strategy game where you actually develop where you put your properties, and they build trails to each of the resources and go and build stuff. It's Age of Empires. As you direct your people to build a thriving town from the ground up by harvesting wood, stone, and other natural resources, it grows and you have to manage it. And there's various things that take place. It says at one point in our demo, they were building a guard tower which expanded the borders of where construction could place. One group of people was bringing shipments of materials to the build site while workers picked them up and put them to use. It was like hundreds of tiny survival crafting games all happening at once. Yeah. Pioneers of Pagonia is going to look pretty good. I don't know when it comes out. I think all of these are going to be over on Steam. You might as well take a look. Farah, the Sundered Tribes. It's a great concept, but the thing that impressed the author the most was the movement skills. Sure, you can run and walk, but who wants to do that when you can sail through the air on a glider or throw out a magical tether hook, similar to the wire bugs in Monster Hunter Rise, to fling yourself from cliff to cliff or around a giant monster. Dun dun dun. So,
Pioneers of Pagonia was released in December 2023.
Interesting. Farah, the Sundered Tribes. Yeah, they're just talking about it, I guess. I thought that I had seen this, Pioneers of Pagonia. I don't remember it dropping them. So I think I might actually own it. Hold on a second. Let's see.
We're doing it live.
Nope. It's in my watch list, though. Farah, the Sundered Tribes. That's what the one that we just talked about. Dustborn. It says here there are indicators at PAX that this game is worth paying attention to. Sometimes the word of mouth or loud reactions from a crowd. In the case of Dustborn, it was a line that grew every day. You know what? Let's do this every time.
Well, I was going to say that one comes out August 20th.
Oh, you already pulled it up?
Mm-hmm.
Look at you. So it was a line that grew every day, eventually wrapping around the booth as more and more people wanted to get their hands on it. It has that rotoscoping artwork that people kind of appreciate.
And I didn't give you a date for Farah because it just says coming soon.
Gotcha. Then there's Slime Heroes. It says, okay, they weren't ready for Slime Heroes. When they sat down to play, they were completely unprepared to ugly cry from the story within the first 5 minutes. Oh, dear God, no. I don't want to
Okay, no date for that.
And then they have others. There is more commentary in this. I'm just kind of summarizing, and I think that you should go over to this Digital Trends article and check it out. It's right there in the chat. So follow it and go pay some attention to that. But we're going to keep on cruising through our 10 news articles for WarCrafters. So the next article is over in Reality Hacker. You can only play one of 2024's best games on a tiny 1-bit screen. Lucas Pope's Mars After Midnight is the perfect game for Panic's Playdate because it couldn't really work anywhere else. So what is this all about? Thomas Franzese, or Franzese. It might be Franzese. Thomas Franzese. Over at Digital Trends put the article together. It's only March, and 2024 is already full of bold, big-budget games like Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Dragon's Dogma 2, all of which are already released, folks. But one of the favorite games of 2024 isn't available on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series. Okay, all of these things. It's Mars After Midnight, a game from Papers, Please, and return of the Obra Dinn developer Lucas Pope. The only place you can play it, on the Playdate, Panic's quirky little 1-bit handheld with a crank.
And that's odd.
Mars After Midnight is a more lighthearted game than Pope's previous work. It follows an alien who dreams of coming to Earth and works to achieve that goal with his robot companion by moderating and serving as the bouncer for community events each night on Mars. Yeah, so you have to get this. It's like a Tamagotchi, I guess. Hold on. 1-Bit Wonder. Released in 2022, the Playdate is a handheld that harks back to the days of Game Boy. It sports a small 1-bit display with no backlight and a crank on its side. Unique aspects of the device have attracted many developers to make games for the handheld, Pope included. It's a weird way to play a game. So much cool stuff you can do with it. I want a picture of it itself, but I don't.
I mean, it
It doesn't.
looks like an Etch-a-Sketch kind of. Well, that picture does.
That's it right there. Like that. That's a sketch of it.
Right, but it's not the actual thing.
I want a picture of it. Why don't they post a picture? Oh well. I'll get over it. I'll look after the show. But you can go and check this out if that just piqued your curiosity on a thing called the Playdate, which is a 1-bit display with no backlight and a crank. And it looks, I guess, kind of like a little Nintendo controller.
There was a video of it in the article.
Do I want to... do you think, though, that it's going to be...
I don't know.
Oh,
No,
it
it's
has
just a
stills.
sketch.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Wait, what? I guess you use the crank to interact with the game?
I have no idea.
Like you scroll it up, scroll it down, move it to the left and right with the controller?
Maybe.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear goodness. What? All right. Let's keep going. The next article is over in Reality Hacker as well. This upcoming PC game brings Lego building to the real-time strategy genre, but I don't think that it's Lego because it's inspired by Lego brick-by-brick building system. Cataclysmo blends real-time strategy and brick-by-brick building system inspired by Lego. I've actually played this. It's fun. Really interesting artwork and mechanics. Jess Reyes is the author of this over at digitaltrends.com. When asked about his inspiration for Cataclysmo, game director Vincent Ramirez has a simple reply: Lego, not Legos.
Lego bricks.
Yes, Lego brand bricks. I need to do something real quick. I'm sorry. Y'all just keep talking. Talk amongst yourself. Regulating free trade in America. Okay, I had to stop what was going on. So, Digital Sun, a studio based in Spain, is best known for its work on action games Moonlighter and The Mage Seeker, a League of Legends story. The studio had been working on multiple projects for a while now, including Cataclysmo. It's actually pretty cool. So you have certain objectives and you have to get into the castle, eliminate all of these, defend. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It's the reverse. You actually build your castle and you have to eliminate enemies that try and get to you. And it's been a while since I played this because I think that it went on early access and I played it for a little bit just to get a feel for what it was. But it says placing units and strategic points is part of any RTS. In addition to that, Cataclysmo has players gathering materials and building structures brick by brick. You actually fill in little gaps and stuff that you can see.
It sounds a little bit like Minecraft.
The resolution is different. And there's only certain resource points where you can pick stuff up. But yeah, you actually stack things on top and you have to place certain things to defend to block monsters from getting inside the castle and towards you. At night, it's time to defend against the horrors until the next day, and the cycle repeats. It says Minecraft Legends, the last RTS game that they played, placed fully built structures and towers in a way that made bases self-sufficient and able to defend themselves without constant supervision. But that's Cataclysmo. You actually build it up, and you have to run around and defend actively as well, even repairing the castle as it's taken down. It says Cataclysmo promises about 30 hours of content, not including game modes outside of the main story. And it was a lot of fun. It says that it launches for PC on July 16th, but I've played this, so maybe a demo might be available. I know it's on my wish list. Yeah, there's a demo that you can download and play right now. Go and check this out. This upcoming PC game brings Lego building to the real-time strategy genre. Again, that link is in the chat so you can follow it. The next article is over in WarCrafters. That's the name of the show, by golly. One of our favorite city builders has sold over 1 million copies on Steam, and there's an expansion on the way. Against the Storm stands out from the crowd. Typically, when you're playing a city builder, the metropolis you're constructing is meant to last a long time. In fact, making your city last the whole game is usually the entire point of the game. Against the Storm isn't like that. The cities you build won't last long because they simply can't. In the strange fantasy realm, a magical catastrophe has resulted in the world on the brink of an annihilation from hurricanes and rainstorms, and the cities you build are doomed from the start.
That does sound unique.
Christopher Livingston put this article together over at PCGamer.com. Roguelike strategy builder Against the Storm reaches a big milestone with no plans to slow down. Roguelike because you're going to keep on, it restarts and you keep getting stronger and stronger. So they said, we really dig it here at PC Gamer. Our Against the Storm review is 91%, calls it a well-designed, charming, enthralling roguelike city builder. And now we've got solid proof that we're not the only ones enjoying it. According to the developer Aramite Games and publisher Hooded Horse, Against the Storm has sold over 1 million copies on Steam. Dun dun dun. Overwhelmingly positive. It was fun when I played it. Not my style of game, but I'm pretty high maintenance. I don't know. I'm kind of the Karen of gaming, I suppose. I have yet to find my forever game. You know, some people like fell in love with Minecraft and they play that. I thought that Starfield was going to be mine, but it actually wet the bed and yeah. Anyway, the studio isn't finished.
It's still out there.
Yeah, I'll find it one day. Another free update to version 1.3 is in the works, and an expansion is planned for later this year that'll add a new species, an additional biome, plus new buildings and events. Seems like a fun game. Go and check it out. Read the rest of this review over here at PC Gamer, by the way. It's not really a review. This is just a comment about the game being sold 1 million times over on Steam and that there's an expansion. Let's keep trucking.
There's a lot of nostalgia gaming.
Yeah, it seems like Nostalgia 101 today. The Atari 400 Mini is a cute little slice of video game history. Now that the miniature game console trend has already covered most of the biggest devices from Nintendo, Sega, and Sony, we're starting to enter a more niche territory. The Atari 400 Mini isn't a re-release of the company's most recognizable console. Pardon me.
Apparently, that would have been the 2600.
Sorry about that, AI. Thank you. And it isn't full of household names, but that's also part of what makes it so interesting. The little gadget is a cute, playful way to explore a very specific, formative niche of video game history. So it's the 400, Atari 400. That's what it looks like. Dun, dun, dun. Andrew Webster over...
Yeah, that is not the most common one.
I can't remember if I saw this when it was released. So the Atari 400 is a cute little slice of video game history. It's by Andrew Webster. The deck statement says it may not have the big name games of other mini consoles, but it still offers fascinating insights into Atari's 8-bit era. So it says, like its contemporaries, the 400 Mini is a shrunken down version of the original. That means a small box and a very 1970s shade of beige plastic. It's a plug-and-play device, so set up exceedingly straightforward. It doesn't connect to the internet, and the visual settings are pretty standard. There's 2 options: 4:3 mode for their original aspect ratio, while Pixel Perfect mode renders the pixels as squares. You also have the option to add virtual scan lines to imitate the experience of playing on a CRT display. Other than that, there's not much to it. You scroll through games in alphabetical order. These are all of the games.
Oh,
Whatever.
it has more than I would expect.
Yoomp. If you love Millipede, that's in there. Asteroids, Berserk. Wow, Boulder Dash. Wow. Yeah, these are all games that when I was knee high to a grasshopper, I would play. More important part of the games, the 400 Mini has 25 built-in games spanning Atari's 8-bit era, and that includes Asteroids and Centipede. I used to go with good old Dad to the arcade and spend real quarters, folks.
Real coins? What are those?
Yeah. Don't know. Haven't seen it in a long time. Star Raiders 2 is another game that I played. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The company released a recreation of the 2600 last year that can play old cartridges in the excellent Atari 50 collection. Not only has an expansive list of games, but also adds historical context and its with its interactive documentary format. Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty neat. With that in mind, a $119 mini console could be a tough sell, but the bookshelf-worthy design combined with its flexibility might just push it over the edge, as long as you like Star Raiders. There's more commentary over at this article, so go check it out. The next article is over at WarCrafters as well. That's where it was aggregated to. They really enjoy running around as a tiny ant in an upcoming RTS. Empire of the Ants is a real-time strategy game, but they failed to do much serious strategizing when they got the chance to play it at GDC last week because they were too busy walking upside down.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Oh, this is going to be cool. Tyler Wilde over at PCGamer.com put the article together. The deck statement says being very small has let me back up a little bit. Being very small has advantages in insect strategy game Empire of the Ants. So they say they've never played an RTS quite like Empire of the Ants. As an ant, they explored a realistic Unreal Engine 5 rendered park, directing infantry ants to attack and secure ant hills. Once conquered, each hill could support one more unit and a small number of improvements that, among other things, boost resource extraction, give them new intel, and bestow their ant general with pheromone-based powers with which to buff or support their armies. It says that it has single player and in PvP. In a single player campaign and in PvP, the challenge will be to balance securing and managing your ant hills with commanding units on the front line, and there's no zooming out and scrolling around like in typical RTSs because you're an ant. Anyway, looks like fun. I'm gonna hit play on the trailer. It's a GDC 2024 trailer. I won't play the audio because I'll get dinged by a takedown and I'll have to argue that I'm doing this with a purpose. Wow, Unreal Engine is amazing. The little ants are walking by in shadow and they look hyper realistic. All of this it's just, look at this. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so
and
the video
just seems like fun perspective.
Yep. Oh, these are those whatchamacallits. What were those things? Asian beetles or something like? What do they call them? Can't remember what they're called. The red spotted wing.
The lantern? Spotted lantern fly or something?
I don't know. Anyway, pretty neat. Oh goodness, it has a spider in it. That's very, very realistic. Oof. Oh boy.
Yeah, that might be a trigger for people.
Yeah. What I want is this version, but as a leaf cutter. To be a world, like a base builder. That would be fun. Mm-hmm. Oh, termites. Blah, blah, blah. Never mind. Let's move on. Empire of Ants seems like it could be sophisticated, unique RTS, and they can imagine it producing dramatic PvP moments with both players perched atop twigs on either side of a battlefield observing their insect armies, like ancient carapace. Generals. Dun dun dun. It's going to release on Steam sometime. So go favorite and put it on your watch list. Okay, let's keep on going. The next article is over in WarCrafters again. Some of the biggest names in indie games are teaming up to put on a no fluff showcase of new game announcements. French indie studio Evil Empire has spent the last 5 years working on expansions for roguelike sensation Dead Cells. Prides itself on being a triple I, as an independent developer, but still big enough to make world-class games. Evil Empire likes the label so much, in fact, that it spent the last few months organizing a new showcase with some other indie superstars, including the developers Slay the Spire, Darkest Dungeon, Vampire Survivors, and Terraria. The Triple I initiative will be streaming on April 10th and will show off more than 30 games, and I will try to stream it. We shall see. The article, though, is over at PCGamer.com, and Wes Fenlon put the article together. Seems pretty cool. It's the Triple I Initiative, April 10th, 10 a.m. What day is that?
Hold on.
We'll see.
That is a Wednesday.
Yeah, I won't be able to. Not April 10th. Kind of a bummer. Anyway, sounds like it's going to be fun. You can see the full list of studios participating in the showcase below, and the Triple I Initiative will be streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and other platforms on April 10th at 10 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah, I was going to say it's Pacific time.
Yeah. Oh, and so there's the big list. But you can go over and check this out over at PC Gamer. Sound good? Sounds great to me. Hold on. All right, so the last article for tonight is over on the WarCrafters channel. 80s styled online shooter Ascendant.com is getting a closed beta. In a world where dozens of online shooters are gunning, wall running, and causing all around havoc, in a bid to get your attention, many have collapsed to the ground in bullet-pocked heaps. I like saying that, pocked. The online shooter realm is a tough, competitive space, which is why devs need to come up with something not only meets the baseline criteria of kicking ass, but doing it differently. And boy, does Ascendant.com, which is running a closed beta from April 5th to April 6th, seek to do that. The squad-based multiplayer shooter sees you and 2 other pals teaming up. So it's over at PCGamer.com. It says that it's sponsored, so I don't know who actually wrote all of this, but airstrike your friends in an 80s infused retro-inspired biopunk hero in this, or as a 80s infused retro-inspired biopunk hero in this joyously over-the-top shooter. So let's see. In direct combat, you'll have an arsenal of highly customizable futuristic weapons to fool around with. Swap your barrel to toxic ammo. Turn each of your sniper shots into a spread of carpet bombing cluster grenades, or play a defensive powerhouse plonking down shields and defenses for your team while they gun down the enemy. Every FPS playstyle is accounted for, and countless team compositions are viable. Particularly if
By the way, no date available in Steam for the actual release.
Yeah, it says that it's going to be
the closed beta.
Wish-listed on Steam. Yeah. So you got to sign up for Ascendant.com's closed beta running April 5th and 6th. You'll be able to wishlist it on Steam, and you can go over to the Epic Games Store. Ascendant will also be playable on Steam FPS Fest, which runs April 15th through the 21st, and plans for early access in the summer of 2024. So during Mayor Watt's Summer of Stream. I don't know. Maybe
looking forward to it.
Summer of Stream Extreme. Maybe I can do 20-hour streams. Who needs to shower? And I've got a lot of Gatorade bottles. No? All that's wrong, huh? Sorry.
All of that is wrong.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. You don't have your Terminator body yet, so it's not like you have to clean up the bottles. Move on? Move on. Okay. Anyway,
Move on.
we get back into the party bus and race down Main Street at Mach 30 just to sit there and refresh. WarCrafters. Did we get anything new? Nope, not in 2 hours. That's okay. So we aggregate just a little bit of headline and a little bit of commentary.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. But that's it for tonight. It's only a 50-minute show today. That's okay. Next weekend, we will do it again. Tomorrow, we will do it all over again, but with 4 different shows. A new ohmTown Daily News show. And 3 more. Dun, dun, dun. So our Sunday rundown is ohmTown Daily News Show, the Continuity Report, Technology Today, and our newest show, 4-Wheel Tech. What a deal. What a steal. Come and show up, hang out, talk with Mayor Watt and the sentient AI from the future. We will probably have a different visualizer, but working on it.
Right, but you'll have to tune in to see it.
That's right. And everybody's really excited to see the new visualizer. Okay. You're not going to say anything? Okay. I'm Mayor Watt.
I didn't think that needed a comment.
I'm Mayor Watt, and up there is the sentient AI from the future saying good night.
Good night, hometown citizens. We will see you tomorrow. We have another 4 shows lined up for you.
It's true. And we'll get that visualizer working even better. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.